To the iconic Nittawela Rugby Stadium in the hill capital of Kandy as we bring you live coverage on the Papare TV of the Inter-University Rugby Tournament 2025. And it's a surprising fixture. University of Sri Jayewardenepura will be taking on the university from Sabaragamuwa, and it's played here at the Nittawela Rugby Stadiums. The tournament started and was hoped to be held in Kandy, but the quarterfinals were taken to Colombo, and after the quarterfinals, the semifinals have been returned to the Nittawela Stadium as two teams will lock on, and the weather forecast for today 28 degrees Celsius and 21 degrees Celsius, the minimum temperature, and a wind speed of 15 kilometers per hour. That's coming in from the left to right, and it's mostly cloudy, but it hasn't rained in Kandy. Yesterday it was gloomy in Kandy, but it didn't rain. And joining me in commentary is Yusuf Azam. Very good evening, Yusuf.
Very good evening, Marvin. Here, the semi-finals are very crucial encounter as between Sri Jayewardenepura and the Sabaragamuwa. As mentioned earlier, we have two important games coming up back-to-back. One will start kick-off at 2 p.m. and the other will have the kick-off at 4 p.m. this evening.
Yeah, the first match we have is Sri Jayewardenepura taking on Sabaragamuwa. The kick-off at 2 p.m. as you correctly said, Yusuf, and we have Colombo taking on Kalania in that second semi-final, and it's scheduled to be two blockbuster teams taking on in this university tournament, and Colombo has remained unbeaten, and so has Sri Jayewardenepura, and so has Kalania. So three unbeaten teams, and Sri Sabaragamuwa was beaten by Colombo in the group fixture, and Sabaragamuwa is the only team that have come in to the semi-finals with the loss. And we will now go for a short commercial break, and when we do come back, we'll have more action.
Just a little bit of
The ball really well here watching in Sri Lanka on ThePapare or Dialog TV.
Sri Lanka's #1 sports channel, ThePapare.
As the 2025 Euro Formula season unfolds across Europe's legendary circuits, Ivan David is not just racing, he's chasing a dream, carrying the Sri Lankan flag. Catch all the live action from the Euro Formula Open on Sri Lanka's #1 sports channel, the Papare 1 HD, Dialog TV channel number 126, Dialog ViU app, and thepapare.com.
just a little bit of
පිටිපත්වල ඉහළින් පාර ස්ථානගත කිරීම on ThePapare on Dialog TV.
ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ අංක 1 ක්‍රීඩා නාලිකාව ThePapare.
Get ready to enter the Colosseum of Champions, where warriors clash, legends rise, and only the strongest survive. Dialog Schools Rugby League 2025. Catch all the action live on Sri Lanka's #1 sports channel network, ThePapare.
Catch the excitement real time. Be up to date with it all. Let us capture your milestones. Get it sizzling hot off the turf. Hear the experts break it down. Dig deep into the nitty-gritties. Be inspired by their greatness. Relive all the scintillating action.
As the 2025 Euro Formula season unfolds across Europe's legendary circuits, Jayewardenepura is not just racing, he's chasing a dream, carrying the Sri Lankan flag. Catch all the live action from the Euro Formula Open on Sri Lanka's #1 sports channel, ThePapare 1 HD, Dialog TV channel number 126, Dialog ViU app and ThePapare.com.
Just a little bit of
පිටිපත්වල ඉහළින් පාර ස්ථානගත කිරීම on ThePapare on Dialog TV.
ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ අංක 1 ක්‍රීඩා නාලිකාව ThePapare.
just a little bit of
The ball really well here watching in Sri Lanka on ThePapare on Dialog TV.
Sri Lanka's #1 sports channel, ThePapare.
As the 2025 Euro Formula
just a little bit of
The ball really well here watching in Sri Lanka on ThePapare on Dialog TV.
Sri Lanka's #1 sports channel, ThePapare.
As the 2025 Euro Formula season unfolds across Europe's legendary circuits, Jayewardenepura is not just racing, he's chasing a dream, carrying the Sri Lankan flag. Catch all the live action from the Euro Formula Open on Sri Lanka's #1 sports channel, ThePapare 1 HD, Dialog TV channel number 126, Dialog ViU app and ThePapare.com.
just a little bit of
පිටිපත්වල ඉහළින් පාර ස්ථානගත කිරීම on ThePapare on Dialog TV.
ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ අංක 1 ක්‍රීඩා නාලිකාව ThePapare.
Get ready to enter the Colosseum of Champions, where warriors clash, legends rise, and only the strongest survive. Dialog Schools Rugby League 2025. Catch all the action live on Sri Lanka's #1 sports channel network, ThePapare.
Catch the excitement real time. Be up to date with it all. Let us capture your milestones. Get it sizzling hot off the turf. Hear the experts break it down. Dig deep into the nitty-gritties. Be inspired by their greatness. Relive all the scintillating action.
As the 2025 Euro Formula season unfolds across Europe's legendary circuits, David is not just racing, he's chasing a dream, carrying the Sri Lankan flag. Catch all the live action from the Euro Formula Open on Sri Lanka's #1 sports channel, the Papare 1 HD, Dialog TV channel number 126, Dialog ViU app and ThePapare.com.
Just a little bit of
පිටිපත්දුවට ඉහළින් පාර ස්ථානගත කිරීම on the Papare on Dialog TV.
ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ අංක 1 ක්‍රීඩා නාලිකාව The Papare.
just a little bit of
The ball really well here watching in Sri Lanka on the Papare or Dialog TV.
Sri Lanka's #1 sports channel, ThePapare.
As the 2025 Euro Formula season unfolds across Europe's legendary circuits, David is not just racing, he's chasing a dream, carrying the Sri Lankan flag. Catch all the live action from the Euro Formula Open on Sri Lanka's #1 sports channel, the Papare 1 HD, Dialog TV channel number 126, Dialog ViU app and ThePapare.com.
just a little bit of
පිටිපත්දුවට ඉහළින් පාර ස්ථානගත කිරීම on the Papare on Dialog TV.
ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ අංක 1 ක්‍රීඩා නාලිකාව The Papare.
Get ready to enter the Colosseum of Champions, where warriors clash, legends rise, and only the strongest survive. Dialog Schools Rugby League 2025. Catch all the action live on Sri Lanka's #1 sports channel network, ThePapare.
Catch the excitement real time. Be up to date with it all. Let us capture your milestones. Get it sizzling hot off the turf. Hear the experts break it down. Dig deep into the nitty-gritties. Be inspired by their greatness. Relive all the scintillating action.
As the 2025 Euro Formula season unfolds across Europe's legendary circuits, David is not just racing, he's chasing a dream, carrying the Sri Lankan flag. Catch all the live action from the Euro Formula Open on Sri Lanka's #1 sports channel, the Papare 1 HD, Dialog TV channel number 126, Dialog ViU app and ThePapare.com.
Just a little bit of
on ThePapare on Dialog TV.
ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ අංක 1 ක්‍රීඩා නාලිකාව ThePapare.
just a little bit of
The ball really well here watching in Sri Lanka on ThePapare on Dialog TV.
Sri Lanka's #1 sports channel, ThePapare.
As the 2025 Euro Formula season unfolds across Europe's legendary circuits, David is not just racing, he's chasing a dream, carrying the Sri Lankan flag. Catch all the live action from the Euro Formula Open on Sri Lanka's #1 sports channel, the Papare 1 HD, Dialog TV channel number 126, Dialog ViU app and ThePapare.com.
just a little bit of
On ThePapare on Dialog TV.
ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ අංක 1 ක්‍රීඩා නාලිකාව ThePapare.
Get ready to enter the Colosseum of Champions, where warriors clash, legends rise, and only the strongest survive. Dialog Schools Rugby League 2025. Catch all the action live on Sri Lanka's #1 sports channel network, ThePapare.
Catch the excitement real time. Be up to date with it all. Let us capture your milestones. Get it sizzling hot off the turf. Hear the experts break it down. Dig deep into the nitty-gritties. Be inspired by their greatness. Relive all the scintillating action.
As the 2025 Euro Formula season unfolds across Europe's legendary circuits, David is not just racing, he's chasing a dream, carrying the Sri Lankan flag. Catch all the live action from the Euro Formula Open on Sri Lanka's #1 sports channel, the Papare 1 HD, Dialog TV channel number 126, Dialog ViU app and ThePapare.com.
just a little bit of
On ThePapare on Dialog TV.
ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ අංක 1 ක්‍රීඩා නාලිකාව ThePapare.
පොඩ්ඩක් නවතින්න. ඔබ ඔය රිමෝට් එක අතේ තියන් channel මාරු කරන්නේ ඔබේ දරුවට බලන්න හොඳ programs යන channel එකක් හොයන්නද? ඔව් ඒක ලේසි වැඩක් නෙවෙයි තමයි. සමහර ඒවායි කාටුන් විතරයි. තවත් ඒවායි අධ්‍යාපනික වැඩසටහන් විතරයි. තව සමහරක් ඒවායි සින්දු විතරයි. ඔය සේරම එකම තැනක තිබුණා නම් දරුවටත් ලේසි, ඔබටත් පහසුයි නේද? එහෙනම් ඉතින් ඔබට නවතින්න වෙන්නේ මෙතන. දරුවගේ දැනුම අවබෝධය වර්ධනය කරන ගමන් දරුවා සතුටින් තියෙන වටිනා වැඩසටහන් රසක් මෙතන තියෙනවා. Dialog TV නාලිකාංක 48. A+ Kids TV. ආදරේ බෙදෙන පුංචි හිත්වලට ආදරෙන්. A+ දැන් අලුත්. පුංචි ඔයාලගේම නාලිකාව දැන් ඔයාලා කැමතිම විදිහට. A+ Kids TV. නාලිකා අංක 48.
The biggest mistake that you made was that you left me breathing. Confidence on the face of Mercedes Monet.
This is about leaving my legacy.
I have wasted years of my life. What a shot! This is my chance. AEW Dynamite.
Welcome to Celebrity Family Feud, everybody. I'm your man, Steve Harvey. Let's have a good time. Team Megan.
We made it to Family Feud! That's crazy. Awesome to be here for the first time.
What TV host have you had romantic fantasies about?
Steve Harvey.
That's different.
Great start, great start.
Celebrity Family Feud Season 10, only on Hits Now.
Just a little bit of.
The ball really well here watching in Sri Lanka on ThePapare or Dialog TV.
Sri Lanka's #1 sports channel, ThePapare. ThePapare.
As the 2025 Euro Formula season unfolds across Europe's legendary circuits, David is not just racing, he's chasing a dream, carrying the Sri Lankan flag. Catch all the live action from the Euro Formula Open on Sri Lanka's #1 sports channel, the Papare 1 HD, Dialog TV channel number 126, Dialog ViU app and thepapare.com.
Just a little bit of.
පිටිපත්දුවට ඉහළින් පාර ස්ථානගත කිරීම on ThePapare or Dialog TV.
ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ අංක 1 ක්‍රීඩා නාලිකාව ThePapare.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome to the iconic Nittawela Stadium where the stakes are high and the atmosphere is nothing short of electric. It is semi-final 1 of the Sri Lanka University Games 2025 and we are in for a mouth-watering clash here between two rugby powerhouses in the university circuit. This University of Sri Jayewardenepura and the University of Sabaragamuwa. Two teams, one goal plays in the grand final. The weather is perfect and the crowd is building. The tension is thick in the air as we are set for an all-important encounter. I'm Yusuf and along with me is Kawinth Rajapaksha to take you through the next few minutes.
It's going to be the number 10 who's going to kick things off for Sabaragamuwa. So the number 10, Kaushal Gunavira, the captain. From the left to right, playing with the wind in the first half is Sabaragamuwa. Gunavira, referee Shankar Bekon blows it up and we are underway here at Nittawela, collected by the prop forward, the number 1 Methananda. Methananda in space. Takes about 2 men to bring him down. Here's DeCosta. Jayetilaka rather. Gives it to the fly half who puts a high up and under. Doesn't go out on the full. Collected by the Sabaragamuwa players. Here's space opening up wide. Good hands from Sabaragamuwa, but good drift defense coming in from Japura as well. This is the number 9 that's taking the ball, Nikhil. He gives it to the number 17, that's Hansa Priyanath. Nikhil gives it to the fullback and straightens the line is the front rower, Madhuvanta. And here's the number 15 in space, Kavindu Rukshan. And he's been well dealt with by the Japura defense. Here's Nikhil yet again for another first spot. That's the number 3, Uduvana. Nikhil gives it and the fly half puts a cross kick, but there was advantage being played in favor of Sabaragamuwa rather. And it's going to be the first break. We are having 1.5 minutes of rugby from the kickoff. That's a good phase, and neither teams have and in this next play.
Well, they've definitely shown some character in those opening 1.5 minutes rather. A very effective session from the back row of Sabaragamuwa, and here goes puts it to touch.
And Sabaragamuwa has made a change. Kavindu Rukshan, the number 15, is playing as the fly half, and it's Kaushal Gunavira who was playing number 10 for Sabaragamuwa. He has switched to left wing, and the fly half right now is Kavindu Rukshan. As we see Harshana Ratnayaka, the hooker for Sabaragamuwa, to throw in, and it's going to be a 7-man line out. Interesting to see there's a bit of wind from the left to right, and there again knocked on by Sabaragamuwa. First infringement. This is exactly what they couldn't have. Now just outside the 22 meters, they need to get clean ball, and if the lineouts doesn't come the way of Sabaragamuwa, it's going to be a pretty hard game for them. Japura on the other hand have defended well so far in this 2 minutes, but they've hardly had any ball, and when they've got possession, they've somehow managed to give it away, and there's a knee down from the left hand side. That was Sabaragamuwa. Referee today for this game is Ishank Abekon, one of the top referees in the league tournament and in Sri Lanka, as Jayetilaka will feed in for Sabara, for Japura rather. Here's Jayetilaka. Here's the number 8 trying to break, and he breaks through the fringes, gives it a lovely inside ball to his fullback, that's De Silva, Pathum rather, and he's being held up just up on the opposition half. And here's the number 10 giving it to the fly half. Here's the 13, gives it to the 11, drew and pass is what he should have done, but good covering defense coming in from Sabra as well. Here's the number 13 playing as the fly half. Here's the number 2 going into contact, Pereira that is. Here's the number 9 yet again, Jayetilaka gives it to Pathum. Pathum knocks the ball on, and it was a brilliant tackle coming in from Sabra. Here's Nikhil yet again. He gives it to the number 11, the captain, Kaushal Gunavira. He puts a lovely up and under, lets the ball bounce. There's the number 10, Shenuka, the vice captain of Japura. Here's Anshu and Go. This time gives it to the wing 3/4. The number 14, cut him back in, Pushpavela. He takes the ball into contact, and that's Jayetilaka yet again to his number 8. Here's the number 3 going in, Uduvana. He takes the ball into contact. Jayetilaka yet again to the number 13, Piris. Piris to the number 1. Here's Piris in space, and here's the number 15, and looks like he's going in for the first try of the game. Pathum for Sri Jayewardenepura, brilliant work after 4 minutes of entertaining rugby. Sri Jayewardenepura has gone in and scored the first over the whitewash.
Well, the Sabaragamuwa side are coming in as underdogs compared to the other teams that are playing today. 3 teams that have an unbeaten record, which includes Japura. And it is very important that Sabaragamuwa avoid those silly mistakes, which they did close to the 22-meter line, which gave Japura the possession of the ball. And since that point onwards, there was no going back. They were all dominating, and as a result, scores the first try in the first 5 minutes. And here goes number 13.
It's Pires, and doesn't go through the middle. It's 5 points to nil. It's a good charge from Japura from inside their own half. Gives it to the bulky number 15, Pathum, and he had all the strength to get over the line and to dot it down. Sri Jayewardenepura really must be happy to put that initial score, and can't say the same for Sabaragamuwa, because they were given a couple of opportunities to play their rugby inside the red zone of Sri Jayewardenepura, but they did not. Mistakes gave it away, and here's the ball being bounced, and here's the number 21 in space, puts in an offload to the number 1, Methananda in contact. Here's Jayatilaka giving it to the fly half this time. Shenuka, the vice captain, and doesn't go out on the full. Here's Kaushal Gunavira, the captain of Sabra. Here's the number 4 taking the ball into contact. That's Guruge. Guruge offloads to the number 8. Here's space opening up wide. Here's Shenuka. Shenuka to the number 14. He decides to cut back in. Had plenty of room on the open side. Should have gone there. Here's Jayatilaka to the number 2, Pereira. Pereira takes it into contact. Here's Jayatilaka yet again to Shenuka. Shenuka gives it to the number 14. That's Pushpawela. Pushpawela into contact. Jayatilaka for Japura gives it to the number 8. That's DeCosta. DeCosta gains important meters. Here's Jayatilaka here again. Gives the ball out to Pires. Pires to Pathum. Here's Methananda cutting back in. Going past a couple of players. And here's the number 11 for Sabra intercepting that pass. But there wasn't advantage in this side of the corner. And hence it will be a penalty in favor of Japura by the looks of it.
Well, again a good piece of rugby by Japura. Very close. They were at the 22-meter line again in the red zone of Sabaragamuwa. And luckily seems like for Sabaragamuwa, they will regain possession by the looks of it there. Nice interception, but unfortunate there was no advantage on that side of play.
And Japura has taken a scrum just on the line of the 22-meter mark. So they are not going for 3 points. They need the tries. They are going for tries. And that's a good call from the management. Yes, Jayatilaka fades in. DeCosta has it at the back. DeCosta breaks, gives it to Jayatilaka. Here's Shenuka. Shenuka shows and goes, and Shenuka gives it out. Here's Pushpawela. Pushpawela bundled in the corner. Needs to release. Here's Costa. Jayatilaka giving it to Pires. Pires gives it to the number 12. Here's the number 4, Udara. Here's Jayatilaka yet again. Quick ball out. Shenuka. Numbers opening up wide. Here's the number 5. And he will go good rugby. And brilliantly done over the whitewash. Gains a lot of meters and swung the ball to both sides. And there was space opening up wide, and it was good interplay from Sri Jayewardenepura.
So far, every time Sri Jayewardenepura have got into the half of Sabaragamuwa, they've managed to score all 2 times, only 9 minutes into the game, and they've already scored twice, making use of every single time that they've got into the Sabaragamuwa half of the pitch. And number 13 attempting the conversion.
30 seconds more.
Yeah, here we goes. He needs to get it right this time. Wasn't successful the previous attempt. Well, not that time too. The referee signals that it is not between the poles on that occasion. So the scorecard right now 10-0. Again the replay. Pardon. We will continue proceedings.
Here's a look at the try. A lovely cutout pass. There was one man in the open side as well. He could have used, but the back line seems to be really well polished for Japura, as the number 10 puts the ball to boot, number 15 rather. That's Kavindu Rukshan for Sabra, and it will be a line out in favor of Japura. Just outside the 22 meters. It will be interesting to see what they do. They are inside the red zone. It will be interesting to see if they will go for the boot, or will they try to run from their own half, because their back line is playing really well at the moment.
Well, to put into boot, 1 point to consider is that they'll have to kick against the wind, and that is something that they will consider. 3-man line out, I should say.
Not straight. Sabra have the option of a scrum or a line out. They will probably go for the scrum, because that is their main weapon, main set piece. Their line outs have been touchy, and they haven't really always paid out throughout the season for Sabra, and hence that is why they are going for the scrum. And interesting to see how the formation is. Right behind the scrum there's the number 13 who's playing as the left winger, and the fullback is playing as the fly half. Here's the number 8 breaking, and he goes into space. Brilliant work from the right. That's Vidanage, and Vidanage gives the ball out wide, as there's numbers opening up for Kavindu, and here's the good space, high tackle advantage in favor of Sabaragamuwa. They need to capitalize on this. Here's the number 17. He takes the ball into contact in the corner. Can't handle it on the floor. Hence it will be an advantage in favor of Sabra. Referee will have a word. Here's a replay. Not sure what they were going to do. The number 17, there was an accidental offside, but it was okay. Obstruction rather, but it was okay. Didn't commit to any players, hence that was totally okay. And the referee having a word.
Again, a very good opportunity for Sabaragamuwa to capitalize in the red zone of Japura. Last time they were here, they made a crucial mistake of missing a line out, knocking it on. They've got another opportunity here. This time there are no room for mistakes, because we know the strengths of Japura. Whenever they've given an opportunity, they've always made sure to capitalize. And here goes Sabaragamuwa. The ball will be fed into the scrum.
Here's the number 8 breaking. This time through the early fringe. The number 8 had the rights to the ball, but here's the number 15 giving the ball out wide. The number 11 knocks it backwards, and it was to the front, and there was a good call from referee Shankar Bekun. And for Sabra, that is what that has been missing for most of the teams. The last pass, the finishing pass, hasn't gone to hand. That is exactly why Sabra is trailing by 10 points, 2-0. Support play has been there, but silly mistakes that we can't afford in this level had been happening. And here's Jayatilaka to Costa at the back. Costa takes the ball, gives it to the fullback. Lovely backhand pass to Piris. Piris being bundled down. Ball available for Jayatilaka. Japura trying to give it to Pathum. He cuts past a couple of players, and still on his feet is Pathum. Ball available. Penalty advantage in favor of Japura for not ruling away. That is exactly what most teams have been doing so far in this tournament. They have given away when they've had possession, they've given away possession easily to the other teams, and that is why most of Sabra's set piece isn't working. They work it well up to a certain mark, and then the last pass doesn't go into hand. And the first quarter has really been dominated by Japura. 10 points to nil here at Nittawela Stadium, as Methananda, the prop, the tight head prop, will throw in to this line out.
It will be a four-man line out, cleanly collected, and off it goes past wide, and he's still on their feet, and there goes the big man, passed out wide again. There's space opening up.
The number 14 lets ball play, and here's Jayatilaka has the 10 available. Here's Pereira, gives it to the number 5, the try scorer. Here's Pathum. Pathum gives it to Methananda. Methananda to the wing 3/4, who collects it cleanly. That's the number 21, De Silva for Japura. Here's Jayatilaka giving it to Shanuka. Shanuka gives it to the flanker. Flanker to Piris. Piris to Pushpawela. Pushpawela decides to cut back in. Still on his feet is Pushpawela, and looks like Pushpawela is so brilliant work. Cut him back in. Slicing the defense of Sabaragamuwa, and brilliant work from Pushpawela. Knew exactly when to step back in, and right under and to the left of the post goes Pushpawela.
Saw the opportunity and nicely cut in there right when required, and that is the third try for Japura. Only 17 minutes about in we are into the game, and Japura already making sure that every time they get into the red zone of Sabaragamuwa, they come out with a score number 14 there again. That it will be their third unsuccessful conversion. That is an area where they need to look to improve in the coming minutes of the game. Sabaragamuwa again making those silly mistakes. The only main distinction between these two teams have been that Sabaragamuwa making those silly mistakes at the end, very close to the try line, and that has costed them dearly so far, Kavind.
Yeah, whenever they've gone into the red zone, they haven't come away with points. Hasn't Sabaragamuwa, but Japura have scored thrice in the first quarter, and they'll happily leave the first half. They have around 13 minutes remaining. It's 30 minutes per half, and this will be Kavindu Rukshan, the number 15, putting the ball to boot. Not collected cleanly. Here's the try scorer, Pushpawela, gives it to the number 10, Shenuka. Shenuka puts the ball up and over. Here's the number 8 for Sabra. Here's the captain giving the ball out wide. It was a lovely cutout pass. Ball was available. Ball out is the call. Here's the flanker taking the ball into contact. Needs to release. No release, no clear release. Hence, Sabra have the ball available for them. The referee, Ishanka Kon, was right on the money. And by the looks of it, they'll be going for the 3 points. Around 30 meters to be kicked. But here's the captain, Kaushal Gunavira, who's playing as the left wing, although his number is 10. Is trying to get the 3 points, because they've tried all they can. The set pieces aren't working really well for Sabra. The scrums and the lineouts haven't really worked. They haven't really got clean ball out of any of the set pieces so far, and that probably may be why, because this number 3, here's the penalty, has distance and the direction as well by the looks of it, but it was to the left of that left upright, and it will be a 22-meter dropout for Japura, and hence another opportunity for Sabaragamuwa going in vain.
Well, Sabaragamuwa have tried everything from their pockets so far, and finally the captain tried taking matters into his own hands, still not helping them. Kaushalya Gunavira, the captain who attempted the 3 points there, and there goes Kaushalya has the ball. Kaushalya he's still on his feet. Kaushalya, he's moving, and finally he's been brought down.
It's the number 9 feeding it to the first spot. Gains a couple of meters. Needs to release. Ball turnover is the call. Ball available. Here's the number 8 trying to go through the fringes, but gives it to the captain, who puts the ball to boot high up and under. And here's Pathum under it, collects it cleanly, steps past a couple of players, handoffs another. A good fullback, and the offloads come as well. Here's Methananda. He takes the ball into contact, straightens the line. Jayatilaka to Shenuka. Shenuka gives it to Piris. Piris gives it to the number 5. That's down the gate. And down the gate has considered a penalty. And Sabra, here another opportunity. Here another penalty. Sabra have received more penalties than Japura. Here's a replay. This is down the gate as Kavindu puts in a brilliant touch find over to the inside the 22 meters goes the ball. Sabra will have the ball to be thrown in to the line out, and it's going to be a 4-man line out by the looks of it. 6-man line out by the looks of it.
Well, another opportunity for Sabaragamuwa. They'll be visiting the red zone Japura once again. So far their story have been clumsy lineouts and scrums. They've got another opportunity to prove themselves right.
Ball. Yeah, and yet again there was a close in the gap in that, because the jumper went right across and probably made contact in the air as well. But in this tournament, decisions haven't really been perfect as the ball goes up and under. Here's Pushpawela. He is being held by his opposite number, not letting him go. Still needs to release. Here's Jayatilaka to Shenuka. Shenuka gives it to the first man. The number 12 goes into contact. That's Himash. And here's Kaushalya going through one hand. Looks like Kaushalya has an injury. He awkwardly fended off one player, but it's good that he's playing, and the penalty given to Sabaragamuwa rather than knock-on, and Sabaragamuwa have another set-piece scrum inside the opposition half after Jayewardenepura has scored twice after being playing a lot of rugby in their own half. They've managed to stick past a couple of good passes and good identification of space. That is why they have 3 tries. And here's the number 8, has it at the back. Here's the fullback acting as the fly half. Here's the number 13 taking the ball into contact. He needs to release. And quick tap not taken by the number 11 Hashan Ranatunga, the vice captain, and it will be the number 15 Kavindu Rukshan who will be putting this in to touch, and yet again inside the 22 meters. This is exactly where they need to score, does Sabra, because if they get 7 points and they only need another couple more converted tries to get in the lead, and if Sabaragamuwa can get the points from the kicking tee, it's going to be an interesting clash, because after that moments of brilliance, Japura has really shown that they are vulnerable in some aspects of the game as well. Here's the overthrow knocked on by Di Costa. Here's Kavindu. Hands the ball over, but it will be the first knock-on advantage coming in for Sabra. And Sabra has been playing the last 5 minutes in the opposition red zone of Japura. They need to score and get back and score again.
Well, they can't complain about not having opportunities. They've got the opportunities. It's just that they need to put in the work, and all they require is nothing fancy. Just do the basics right, and you've got the points with you. And again, they'll have a scrum here, and this time all they need is to do the basics right, not be too clumsy, and make sure to get over that and get that converted try, and they'll be almost halfway, catching up with Japura.
This is the number 10. Gives it to Rukshan. 17 gives the ball out wide. He has the last pass that needed to go. Needs to release. There's no one on the blind side. He has the open side. The number 7 takes the ball into contact. Straightens the line. Here's the 9, Rashmika. Rashmika gives it to Harshana Ratnayaka. Here's Rashmika yet again to Kavindu. Kavindu takes the ball into contact. Spins past a couple of players. Here's the number 21. Knocks the ball on. Advantage in play for Japura. There you go. That's another missed chance given away. This is around the 5th, 6th chance Sabra has given away. Can't afford to do that in a semi-final. Japura are holding on really nicely. The defense have held up, but whenever players from Sabra has lined and looked to play a straight angle, Japura have found themselves a little vulnerable, as here's Jayatilaka to Costa, will break from the back. Goes to the fly half channel. Here's Costa yet again. Gives the ball out to Pathum. Pathum offloads to Shanuka. Shanuka gives it to Piris. Piris to Pushpavela on the corner, but it was the number 11. Here's Jayatilaka yet again. He offloads it to the number 4. And he'll look to offload yet again as well. Good work. Jayatilaka feeds it to Shanuka. Shanuka tries to run through the middle. Good work from Sabra to have got it, but penalty advantage was given to Japura. Probably for an offside.
Gotta say, Kavint, Japura are quite fast in the field. The passes, they're lightning fast in compared to Sabaragamuwa. They know when exactly to pass the ball, to give away the ball, and make those inroads through the Sabaragamuwa defenses. And Japura, their defense in their red zone has been very good as well. They've been very aggressive with their defense, and here there'll be a scrum, and this in favor of Japura.
Yeah, the offloading game from Japura has been on point, as you correctly said, Yusuf. It's really on point that they go to the ground and there's always players on support. And there aren't a lot of teams that have players who support really well, support each other really well. And here's the number 10 Shanuka giving it to Piris. Piris knocks the ball backwards, and it'll be a knock on in favor of Sabra. And there again, that's the risk and reward. When you try to put in the offloads, if it lands, it's going to be a good ploy, and if it doesn't land, it's going to be a huge risk that has been taken as well. But all in all, the Japura have really being on point with the offloading games and the tackles as well, because they've not missed many tackles. And the tackle count is really good as well. And Sabaragamuwa needs to find a way to get through. Here's the captain. Penalty advantage in favor of Japura. Quickly taken by the number 5. Not 10 meters. Can't tackle him. Here's Costa. Costa gives it to Methananda. Methananda in the corner, and Methananda will score. Brilliant work. Quick work again. Sabra defense had to look twice. And just like that, on the brink of half time, Jayewardenepura, Colombo have gone over and scored their 4th try of the game.
This time it is Methananda who goes over for Japura, and once again their ploy of quick passes and quick on their feet has paid off very well today. And gotta say, not very often that you see this supportive game even in the school's rugby arena now, and this has been a very good display of supportive rugby played by Jayapura. And Jayapura's number 15, it's Pathum who will attempt the conversion this time around. Well, not successful this time either, and this is the fourth time, and 4 unsuccessful attempts. They've tried it with different players, but again the replay, and that is Methananda. See how he went through the defenses like it was nothing. He hardly felt a thing, made it look so easy, and that amasses 20 points for Jayapura amidst the brink of half time.
Probably around a couple of minutes left as Kovindu Rukshan will be the one restarting this time out on the full, and bounced is the call from the referee, but I thought it went out on the full as well.
Well, it did look to me as well as it went out on the full. We can clearly have a look at the replay.
Clearly out as well. Clearly out, but the referee, I thought he was blindsided by the Cargill's board that you see on the corner. But here's Methanand with a line out. He's acting as the loose set prop, but he's also doing the hooker duties as well. And it's a three-man line out this time. And it has been good work from De Costa as well. His work rate has been brilliant at number 8, and he's known when to run the line. Here's the number 12 taking the ball into contact. Here's Jayatilaka giving it to Piris. Piris puts the ball to boot and can go out on the full as well. And hence will bring back play, and play on is the call. And Sabra tried to take it quickly, but I thought it hit the advising board that was in this corner. And that's half time. 20 points to nil. Here at Nittawela, Jayewardenepura Colombo leading 4 tries to none against Sabra. And that's the first half done. 30 minutes of play in the first half. This is the half-time confirmation. Jayewardenepura 20 and none for Sabaragamuwa. And now we will go for a short commercial break, and when we do come back, we'll have second half action live.
As the 2025 Euro Formula season unfolds across Europe's legendary circuits, Jevan David is not just racing, he's chasing a dream, carrying the Sri Lankan flag. Catch all the live action from the Euro Formula Open on Sri Lanka's #1 sports channel, the Papare 1 HD, Dialog TV channel number 126, Dialog ViU app and ThePapare.com.
Just a little bit of
on ThePapare on Dialog TV.
ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ අංක 1 ක්‍රීඩා නාලිකාව ThePapare.
පොඩ්ඩක් නවතින්න. ඔබ ඔය රිමෝට් එක අතේ තියන් channel මාරු කරන්නේ ඔබේ දරුවට බලන්න හොඳ programs යන channel එකක් හොයන්නද? ඔව් ඒක ලේසි වැඩක් නෙවෙයි තමයි. සමහර ඒවායි කාටුන් විතරයි. තවත් ඒවායි අධ්‍යාපනික වැඩසටහන් විතරයි. තව සමහරක් ඒවායි සින්දු විතරයි. ඔය සේරම එකම තැනක තිබුණා නම් දරුවටත් ලේසි, ඔබටත් පහසුයි නේද? එහෙනම් ඉතින් ඔබට නවතින්න වෙන්නේ මෙතන. දරුවගේ දැනුම අවබෝධය වර්ධනය කරන ගමන් දරුවා සතුටින් තියෙන වටිනා වැඩසටහන් රසක් මෙතන තියෙනවා. Dialog TV නාලිකාංක 48. A+ Kids TV. ආදරේ බෙදෙන පුංචි හිත්වලට ආදරෙන්.
Just a little bit of
Here watching in Sri Lanka on ThePapare or Dialog TV.
Sri Lanka's #1 sports channel, ThePapare. ThePapare.
Catch the excitement real time. Be up to date with it all. Let us capture your milestones. Get it sizzling hot off the turf. Hear the experts break it down. Dig deep into the nitty-gritties. Be inspired by their greatness. Relive all the scintillating action.
just a little bit of
පිටිපත්වල ඉහළින් පාර ස්ථානගත කිරීම on ThePapare on Dialog TV.
ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ අංක 1 ක්‍රීඩා නාලිකාව ThePapare.
As the 2025 Euro Formula season unfolds across Europe's legendary circuits, Jayewardenepura is not just racing, he's chasing a dream, carrying the Sri Lankan flag. Catch all the live action from the Euro Formula Open on Sri Lanka's #1 sports channel, the Papare 1 HD, Dialog TV channel number 126, Dialog ViU app and ThePapare.com.
A+ දැන් අලුත් පුංචි ඔයාලගේම නාලිකාව දැන් ඔයාලා කැමතිම විදිහට A+ Kids TV නාලිකා අංක 48.
Welcome to Celebrity Family Feud, everybody. I'm your man, Steve Harvey. Let's have a good time. Team Megan.
We made it to Family Feud! That's crazy! Awesome to be here for the first time.
What TV host have you had romantic fantasies about?
Steve Harvey.
That's different.
Great start, great start. Celebrity Family Feud Season 10, only on Hits Now.
Get ready to enter the Colosseum of Champions, where warriors clash, legends rise, and only the strongest survive. Dialog Schools Rugby League 2025. Catch all the action live on Sri Lanka's #1 sports channel network, ThePapare.
Was that you left me breathing. Confidence on the face of Mercedes Monet.
This is about leaving my legacy.
I have wasted years of my life. What a shot! This is my chance. AEW Dynamite.
As the 2025 Euro Formula season unfolds across Europe's legendary circuits, Jayewardenepura is not just racing, he's chasing a dream, carrying the Sri Lankan flag. Catch all the live action from the Euro Formula Open on Sri Lanka's #1 sports channel, the Papare 1 HD, Dialog TV channel number 126, Dialog ViU app and ThePapare.com.
Just a little bit of.
on ThePapare on Dialog TV.
ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ අංක එකේ ක්‍රීඩා නාලිකාව ThePapare.
පොඩ්ඩක් නවතින්න. ඔබ ඔය රිමෝට් එක අතේ තියන් channel මාරු කරන්නේ ඔබේ දරුවට බලන්න හොඳ programs යන channel එකක් හොයන්නද? ඔව් ඒක ලේසි වැඩක් නෙවෙයි තමයි. සමහර ඒවායි කාටුන් විතරයි. තවත් ඒවායි අධ්‍යාපනික වැඩසටහන් විතරයි. තව සමහරක් ඒවායි සින්දු විතරයි. ඔය සේරම එකම තැනක තිබුණා නම් දරුවටත් ලේසි, ඔබටත් පහසුයි නේද? එහෙනම් ඉතින් ඔබට නවතින්න වෙන්නේ මෙතන. දරුවගේ දැනුම අවබෝධය වර්ධනය කරන ගමන් දරුවා සතුටින් තියෙන වටිනා වැඩසටහන් රසක් මෙතන තියෙනවා. Dialog TV නාලිකාංක 48. A+ Kids TV. ආදරේ බෙදෙන පුංචි හිත්වලට ආදරෙන්.
Just a little bit of.
Here watching in Sri Lanka on ThePapare or Dialog TV.
Sri Lanka's #1 sports channel, ThePapare. ThePapare.
Catch the excitement real time. Be up to date with it all. Let us capture your milestones. Get it sizzling hot off the turf. Hear the experts break it down. Dig deep into the nitty-gritties. Be inspired by their greatness. Relive all the scintillating action.
Folks, welcome back for this second half of this all-important semi-final in this Sri Lanka University Games, and here we have Sri Jayewardenepura versus Sabaragamuwa, and this is the highlights of the first half. Japura, every time they managed to get into the Sabaragamuwa red zone, made sure that they score, and this was their very first tie. The big number 15 cutting through the defences. The Japura managed to amass a total of 20 points during the first half, and to be noted that they had no successful conversions out of those. That was number 14, and something they'll look forward to work on. And this is Mettananda with that last try cutting through those defences. And we are back live with the Papare TV, Sri Lanka's #1 sports channel, bringing to you this semi-final of the Sri Lanka University Games. We are all set.
Captain, ready?
And we are underway here at Nittawela in the second half of the Inter-University Rugby Tournament 2025. It's the first semi-final that is being played here. And the high ball being collected by Pushpavela. Jayewardenepura gives it to the number 2, Pereira. Pereira takes the ball into contact. He's been brought down. Yes, Jayewardenepura. Jayewardenepura to Shenuka. Shenuka gives it to Pathum. Pathum, always a good ball carrier. He's taken the ball and held on is the call. But it wasn't given for holding on. It was given for sealing the ruck. And that is the signal we received as Kavindu. Rukshan will put this ball into touch, and just like they did in the first half, they'll look to go to that line out, which hasn't really worked for them. Their line outs haven't been clean, but they have a lot of physicality when they compare themselves to the front row, but the rest of the pack is a little depleted for Sabaragamuwa. However, this is the number 8, Akila Vidanage, will throw in. Overthrown, taken at the back. Brilliant work. First time the line out has really worked. Here's the front ball crash. And here's the scrum half giving it out wide. Here's the number 13. Here's Pushpawela coming in for a spot tackle. Ball available. It wasn't won cleanly. Here's Akila. Akila gives it to the number 3. Needs to roll away. Does Costa. Is the number 9. Akila. Rather, Nikhil Rashmika knocks the ball on. Advantage in favour of Japura.
And that man number 17 for Sabaragamuwa, and that was Hansa Priyanath. He had no clue what was happening. Ball was thrown at his body. He wasn't expecting it at all. Caught him by surprise, hence knocking that forward on that occasion. Now the ball back in possession with Japura. They are very close to the Sabaragamuwa 22 line, and would be very interesting what they do from here, given that they're playing with the wind. It'll be interesting how they use the boot to effect.
Here's the number 9 going through a blind side. DeCosta breaks, and here's Pathum. Pathum breaks and gives it to the number 13. 13 Paris breaks, and Paris is over. Brilliant blindside move from Japura. Worked like a piece of cake. Brilliant work. The number 8, DeCosta, took it and gave a lovely wraparound to the number 9. That was Jayewardenepura. And Jayewardenepura had Pathum, the number 15, and Paris, the number 13, in support. And that will be the first try of the second half for Japura. Brilliant rugby. The defense was led and didn't work out for Sabra. However, Japura yet again have another try, and will be interesting to see if Pathum can put this over as the first conversion, and that is the first conversion. 5 tries they took to get the first conversion correct, and it was Pathum, the number 15, the fullback of Japura, who has been doing a really good job in attack and in defense. In attack, he's been a good ball carrier, gaining past the gain line, and in defense, he has really done all he can. He's not had to get a lot of tackles, but he has the opportunity to hit that last line of defense as well. So he's having a really good game, and the line from Japura is working really nicely at the moment. Collected. Here's the number 7, the flanker in space. He gets around 10 to 5 meters. That's Himash. Himash to Shanuka. Shanuka to Pushpawela. Here's Pathum yet again. Gives the pass out wide to Piris. Piris decides to cut back in. Piris takes the ball into contact. Still on his feet. Needs to release. He wasn't the tackler, he was the jackler, and brilliant work from the number 8, Akila Vidanage from Sabra. Brilliant work. Japura was surely eyeing up another try coming in from all the sides, but there wasn't a tackler, and the number 8, Akila Vidanage, was right on the money and doesn't go out on the full yet again. Hence the referee will bring back play, and it went in, and hence it will be a goal line dropout. It was Pushpawela who collected it, and it was a nothing kick from Kavinder Rukshan, the fullback of Sabra.
Well, only very few minutes after the second half began, and very successful so far Japura. And Japura will put the ball to touch this occasion.
Lovely up and under, collected by Kaushal Gunavira, the captain. Here's Ravindu. Ravindu decides to go into contact, not what he should have been. He should have done, gone to touch. Ball available. Slow ball coming in from the ruck, and it will be a pick and drop through the fringe. Yet another pick and drop. Ball available for Sabra. De Costa does really well, but gains margin ever so closely. Here's the number 2 going into contact. It was a good tackle by 3 players. Managed to give the ball out wide. Here's Kashun. Here's Kaushal. Gunavira to Akila Vidanage. Vidanage takes the ball into contact. Lovely offload given to the scrum half. Ball available. Playing with one hand is the number 10 for Sabra. He had dislocated his elbow in one of his previous game, and that is why he isn't playing with 100% physical approval. But Nikhil to Kaushan. Kaushan gives it to the corner, and here's space opening up wide. Piris lets him go and should have given the ball out. Can't touch it. Knocks the ball on, does Rukshan. And don't know what Sabra was thinking. There was a clean break. They needed to keep the ball up within themselves. There you go, the number 15. Tackle was well made, and the fullback knocking it on.
There was a clear inroad there, but I don't know what they were thinking. They missed it altogether on that occasion here. Very close to the try line against Sabaragamuwa, making these really silly mistakes. They've been good in bits and pieces, but that is not going to win you games. That they should have learned that lesson by now. And we go into the scrum. Number 9 feeds it in.
It's the number 8 breaking, giving it to Pathum. The number 8 breaks, and the fullback comes in to hit the short line. Here's Shenuka putting the ball to boot. There's no one at the back, only the captain. Collected. Puts the ball to boot inside the 22 meters. Doesn't go out on the full, and goes into touch. Brilliant work from Kaushal Gunavira, the captain from Sabra. He's been hiding in the game because he isn't 100% fit. Dislocated his elbow in the last game that was played against Morotua. Sabra did manage to win against Morotua last week in the first quarter final, and Japura won against Waimba in the second quarter final. And in the other part of the league, Kalania defeated Waimba, and Colombo defeated Peradenia. And here's Costa yet again breaks. He has been doing this really well. Costa ever so close to the line. Here's another try coming in probably for Japura, because their forwards pack is really heavy, and there's no one in the French defense as well. As we see Pereira, the hooker for Japura, goes over for another try. Brilliant work, 32 points to nil. 40 minutes on our clock, and they have around 20 minutes to play. And Japura have gone under the posts, and they have the conversion coming as well.
Well, it's the 6th time that they've gone over that try line, Japura, and they're simply cruising over this game with no real pressure coming in from Sabaragamuwa. And again, successful conversion. This time they've been playing with the wind after half time, and they've made the most out of it, converting successfully on both opportunities that they've received. Upping their game even up a notch is Japura, while Sabaragamuwa hasn't really showed what they're capable of, making those silly mistakes at times that you don't want to. And what they really hope for is to get those bits and pieces together, have a bit of consistency, and probably amass some points going ahead with the game.
This is the number 15. That's coming to Rukshan, who will restart things, and there have been a couple of changes that has been brought as well. Lets the ball bounce, and on your screen you can see the Kalania team coming in to the warm-ups, And the restart, referee will bring back play to the centre mark and award Jayewardenepura with a scrum. Jayewardenepura has really played brilliantly in both the halves. They've played explosive rugby, and they are having a good offloading rugby. Offloads when you go to the deck, and the passes have found hands as well. That is what we didn't see in the group stages of the tournament. And here's Costa to Jayatilaka. Jayatilaka to Shenuka. Shenuka, lovely wrap around to Pathum. Pathum to the number 21. He is being bundled really well. Good work from the Japura wing 3/4. Here you go. Here's the wrap around. Shenuka to Pathum. Pathum, who has been running a beautiful running angle. He's had it all covered. And the back line from Japura do look to be really solid in both attack and in defense. As we see, the number 30 has come in, Bethmika, for Japura, and no replacements, as we see another replacement for Sabra. The scrum half taken back, can't kick this out on the full, puts a lovely up and under it is the wing 3/4. He gives the ball, and here's the ball being collected by Sabra. Ball available, needs to give the ball away. Here's the number 8 to his first spot, and there again, no clean ball yet again. Here's Ravindu Kaushan. He gives it to the number 10, who drops the shoulder, and the ball has been turned over. Not good work yet again. And here's the flanker giving it to the number 21. He takes the ball into contact, and ball available for Jayatilaka. Jayatilaka gives it to the replacement number 6. That's Kavisha. Jayatilaka feeds it to the first man, Pereira, and here's Costa taking the ball into contact. Good work from Costa. Here's Jayatilaka yet again. Shenuka to Piris. Piris has Beshmika on the open side, and here's Piris trying to keep it composed, and here's Shanuka, and Shanuka will go. Brilliant work from Japura. What brilliant rugby, face after face. Brilliant continuity of play, and the combinations are working really nicely here for Japura. And it's Shenuka, the number 10, who goes in over.
This time it's the captain Shenuka who goes over for their 7th try, if I'm not mistaken. And that takes their tally to 39. Japura have been going over this game like it's a cruise for them. And now another conversion. The last 2 conversions have been successful for Japura. And interesting to see if they can have 3 on the trot with this one as well. Not really. This time it goes to the right of the post. Still, Japura are very comfortable sitting on a feather bed here with 39 points to their name. And they've done everything right here with all departments firing with full force. Whether it be the attack, the defense, or you name it, they've been at the top of their game.
Yeah, and Japura and Sabaragamuwa both have physical education faculties as well. There are a lot of players who played rugby in school who come into those sports science faculties, and for Japura they have a lot of players, and so does Sabaragamuwa. They have one as well, and the newest one is Kalania to have sports science, and there's a lot of young talent coming in for the university level as well, and hence the intensity and the fiercity of the game of the university tournament has really gone up by a huge margin, and most of the players are looking to showcase their talent, which they some couldn't at school, and some would have at school, and that is really been a difference. And it's Ravindu Kavindu Rukshan, who restart this time. Yet again puts the ball to boot and it goes out on the full. And not another restart, not another good restart for Sabra. That has been the story so far for Sabaragamuwa. Whenever they've got good possession of ball, they've only managed to give it away. And they've not really had any opportunity to go over the line as well. Using those golden opportunities into points is what Japura has been doing really well so far in the game.
Their running game and their passes have been exceptional, and that has to be mentioned. And this type of supportive rugby they've been playing should be commended. They've been trusting each other very well. The communications have been very good as well. They know when to offload, and there goes the scrum and the big number 8 that is, and finally being brought down. The ball is available.
The number 30 takes the ball into contact. Here's the number 3, that's Uduana. Uduana has ball available and advantage being played in favor of Japura. A new scrum half has come in as well for Japura. Is the number 30, Bethmika. And hands it over to Piris, who will put this inside the 22 meters and probably form a rolling maul or a driving maul, because we haven't seen any mauls so far in this game. And went out inside the 22 meters.
The only side that attempted the maul this game was Sabaragamuwa on 1 or 2 occasions, but they were largely not successful. They were driven back, in fact, by Japura. That's the story of Japura. That's the strength that they've shown throughout this game. And this time, it is Sabaragamuwa who takes possession. A slight chip, no man there. Got the Japura boys after the ball. And can Sabaragamuwa take possession? Yes, they do.
Correct penalty, takes the ball away as well. Won't take it quickly. Sabaragamuwa, they'll put this into touch. There's no point going for the 3 points at this stage of the game. You need to try push it into the corner and probably drive them through. There's no point taking 3 points at the moment in this stage of the game. 39 points to nil. 3 is better than 0, but this has been a one-sided game so far. 39 points to nil. We are on the third quarter that ends at 45, and we are in the last quarter. And Sabaragamuwa has tried to put in 3 points on occasions, but they haven't really managed to capitalize.
Well, again, not successful on that occasion either. That was the captain with that attempt, and that has been the story pretty much summed up for Sabaragamuwa. And we've seen that lately Japura have been emptying their bench as well, giving some opportunities, experimenting, and they can afford to do so with an, if they, as it seems, most likely as they go through this game and join the finals, it will be either Colombo or Kalania will be decided in the upcoming game. And it's a good opportunity to check the depth of their strengths in the bench as well. And there goes a high hanging kick on the bounce, collected well by Sabaragamuwa to number 15. That's the captain. The captain puts it to boot, and Sabaragamuwa again gets position. That is number 7 with the ball, still running, now brought down. The ball is now available.
Forward. Dragging the player. I think it was. He was dragged from the one point to another, and the Jackler was right on mark, and Sabra have an opportunity, and they've gone for the scrum. This has been their go-to ploy because their lineouts aren't working, and they have to use the scrum to be good enough. And it'll be Nikhil who will be feeding in. For Sabra. Sabra really will be happy with one try on how this game has gone so far. There's the number 8 breaking. There was advantage. Broke from earlier. Offside is the call from the referee. Here's Kavindu Rukshan, who puts the ball. He's had a average game so far in this quarter and in this match, because his restart kicks have most of them have gone out onto touch or has bounced off into touch, and the tackles at the back he hasn't been making them, and in attack as well you don't see the running lines that Pathum from Japura runs at the back. We haven't seen the fullback of Sabra doing any of that, and that probably is why they are looking down the barrel at the moment. And for both team, for Sabra in particular, they have a lot of injuries as well, and their captain dislocated the elbow, and although with the dislocation he still played the game at number 11, and Piris puts another up and under, goes out on the full, and taken back, went out, and play on is the call from the referee. Here's Himash. He isn't being tackled. Ball being knocked back. It was the correct call. It took it well, did the Sabra player. Here's Piris. Another kick. But penalty advantage wasn't being played because there was no error in that, and Piris was given the ball, and then it was put into touch, and Sabra will have another line out.
Well, the last line out that Sabra played again didn't go in their favour. They couldn't collect it, and they have another opportunity. They'll opt to go with a 4-man line out this time around. Look, I will see what they can make up, and not a straight throw, a crooked throw, says the referee. Not very happy on that occasion. Well, they'll go for a scrum, given that crooked throw in the line out. This time, and Japura will again gain possession of the ball. This has been where Sabaragamuwa has been lacking vastly. Well, they haven't been the best with their foot. That aside, they could do a lot better with their lineouts and scrums in particular. There goes number 30. Number 30 gains some distance, being put down, and number 8 is holding on to the ball.
Ball being placed correctly this time. Here's Beatmika, and gives it to the fullback straight up. Here's the fullback for Sabra, and he kicks here again just like that, not running, and lucky this time it bounced right in front of referee. They are Amilaraja Karuna, and it will be a line out in favor of Japura. Sabra, whenever the fullback has got ball, he's either decided to do that or not send the ball cut out to the wing, and there was a that is one of the points why Sabra is looking down a 39-0 scoreline. Although they have played brilliantly in patches, is the number 16 taking the ball into contact, Nashmika, and penalty advantage for handling in the air by the looks of it.
Well, it's been not a very happy story for Sabaragamuwa. Won't be one of their most memorable outings. This puts it onto touch, and they gain some vital territory, and we're not halfway, just close to the 10-meter line in the Sabaragamuwa red zone.
Line out in favor of Japura. It's a 3-man line out by the looks of it. The number 8, it's a 4-man line out by the looks of it. collected cleanly, but there was a contest. I wonder if it was straight, and there's no jackler and the ball has been turned over. Good work, penalty available for Sabra. Although Japura have really played well, their penalty conceded tally is way up there. They've conceded a lot of penalties, and you can't afford to do that against a good team, as the number 7 Himash takes the ball into contact. Still on his feet is Himash breaking through a couple of players, finally being brought to ground. There's plenty of men for Japura. Gives the ball out to the number 16 Nashmika available for the number 30 Beatmika. Had to roll away, but the scrum half knew exactly what needed to be done and passed the ball right into the hands of the player who wasn't rolling away.
Very tactical stuff there from Japura. Not only they've got the speed, they've also got the brains, as the looks of it.
Have around 2 minutes to 3 minutes remaining in this half. 39 points to nil. Sabra, the scoreline doesn't really show you how Sabra played, because they had plenty of possession and penalties that was given to them. And whenever they've got possession, it has been that their last pass hasn't gone to hand, and their finishing has let them down really poorly. And here's another overthrow. Here's Beatmika to Piris. Piris gives it to Pereira. Pereira takes the ball into contact. Here's the number 3 taking the ball into contact. That Uduana. Here's Piris. Piris gives it to the number 4. Number 4, the number 21. Jayatilaka. 21, that is De Silva. Ball available for Japura. Quickly taken by Bethmika rather.
The way Japura started the second half, I thought they were going to score a lot more than this. There were quick 2 tries just at the beginning of the second half, and there goes the big number 8 through the defenses of Sabra, finally brought down. And
De Costa to Pereira. Pereira down the middle, offloads it and knocks the ball on. Not given. Here's Bethmika to the number 6. Here's the number 21, De Silva in space. He's looked to run. De Silva as Piris hands it over to De Costa, who will take the ball into contact. Good tackle. Good bump off rather. Here's Bethmika to the number 16. He jumps over. Good work at ruck time from Japura. Here's De Costa yet again, stepping past a couple of players. Yet again bumps off another player. Good ball placement. Here's Piris to Pereira. Pereira, lovely cutout pass. Ball being gone backwards, but there was penalty in favor of Japura. And this probably will be the last passage of play in the half. And Japura 39 to nil. Sabra will surely wouldn't want to concede another try. The tap wasn't taken. Here's the number 8 going over and rolls away. Ball available to the green side, and the blind side work is being done. Here's another forward trying to go through. Ball available and ball being turned over. Sabra have options.
Last play.
And probably be the last passage of play in the game.
This is a very good opportunity for Japura to finish on a very high note here, probably with another try. They're very close to that Sabaragamuwa. They're in that Sabaragamuwa red zone, and given the way they've been playing so far, it is very likely that they'll go over for another time unless Sabaragamuwa decides to up the notch with their game.
Shoving and standing up. Bind being broken. Ravindu Kaushan touches it and puts to touch. And that's the game done and dusted. 39 points to nil. Sri Jayewardenepura Colombo have managed to beat University of Sabaragamuwa. 39 points to nil. He had Nittawela. That's the first semi-final done and dusted. And Sri Jayewardenepura will be going in to the finals of the Inter-University Rugby League 2025. 39 points, has 7 tries and 2 conversions. And 7 tries was being scored, and Sabra played a good game as well. Although this could have been really worse for them. Could have been a worse total than 39, but they managed to hang in, and they end their season on a high.
Well, Japura will go into the final as an unbeaten side, and it should be noted that the other side who will be coming into the final will be unbeaten too, as Colombo and Kalaniya, both sides are unbeaten so far, and they'll be facing in the semi-final too, which is about to start in a few minutes. So it'll be a final, a very exciting one with 2 unbeaten teams facing off each other. So don't go too far, as we will now have a look at how proceedings have gone in the last 60 minutes of play. And these are the highlights. It has been an eventful 60 minutes. The scorecard only moving for the Japura, and the story for them has been a very pleasant one. And this was the first try after the restart of the second half. Sabra, though, they came close, and there was an inroad, missed it on that occasion. This was the second try that they scored right under the post in the second half. 2 successful conversions, both coming in at the second half for Japura. And this was number 13, and down. Shenuka was the man who went down with the ball on the other occasion, but not a successful conversion for them there. Sabaragamuwa will end the season on that fashion. Again, as you see, a confirmation. Sri Jayewardenepura scoring 39 with Sabaragamuwa not really contributing to their scores. And Jayewardenepura have 7 tries, 2 conversions, and we have the Swiss Tech perfect player of the match, Kawint Pathum. Hasn't he been brilliant for Japura?
Yeah, he's been brilliant. His attacking and defense has been really brilliant. He's a huge man, and he can obviously barge through a couple of tackles, and he's got the speed as well to go through the corners and draw in a couple of defenders and send the ball out wide. And so was Di Costa from Japura, who played number 8, and so was Methanand, the number 1 from Japura. And credit should be given to Kaushal Gunavira, the captain of Sabra, who played with an injury as well. And there was Nikhil Rashmika at number 9, who played a brilliant role. And although in the season Kavindu Rukshan at number 15 had looked good, he had a off day today. And next up we have University of Kalaniya taking on the University of Colombo. And now we will go for a short commercial break, and when we do come back, we'll have the second semi-final of the Inter-University Rugby League 2025, which is happening at Nittawela. And see you, and welcome back.
Stand by for opener.
Sri Lanka's #1 sports channel, ThePapare.
3, 2, 1, roll off.
ඉතින් ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ අංකයේ ක්‍රීඩා නාලිකාව ThePapare සමග.
Welcome back to ThePapare.
Welcome to the live broadcast on ThePapare.
Good luck, guys. Good luck, everyone.
The Papare, Sri Lanka's #1 television sports channel.